Okay, so I just got my Social Security card, I think, in the mail. And I got the paper right there. I'm about to open it up. Let's find out. I'm tearing into it. I don't care. I'm not saving it. Well, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got here. Well, that's why I'm doing this fun little bonus episode. To get this letter, actors and ancestors took a road trip just over the border from Vancouver, Canada to Bellingham, USA. And I was trying to get a social security number because something called the Jay Treaty entitles me, as a First Nations person, to a social security number so I can work and live in the United States, if you didn't know that already. Now, I can do this because, borders are just made up. And as an Indigenous person living in Turtle Island, at least on the Canadian side of this border, I am categorized by the United States as an quote-unquote American Indian living in Canada. Now, it should be a pretty simple process in theory, but I actually had a lot of trouble figuring out what documents I needed, who needed to sign them, and where to take them. So I'm just sharing my experience, and this is by no means any legal advice for anyone out there, but just my personal experience. And I hope that this bonus episode helps you out if you're also struggling. It is not your fault. The process can be very, very unclear. So first thing I had to do was gather a few documents. Here's me in the car driving to Bellingham. They needed me to get my blood quantum letter from my band. I needed my long form birth certificate and my treaty card, as well as some other form of ID like a passport or a driver's license. I forgot my passport in the car, and thankfully I had my driver's license on me. But it was so fast. It took all of 10-15 minutes. They filled it all out. I'm actually really glad that we called the office directly ahead of time rather than social security big general things. I Googled where the office was in town and called their line directly, and it was so easy to get through that way. And they were so helpful. I made it really easy, and they even told me exactly who I needed to get to sign the paper and all that stuff, and the names that they would accept. It's sure pretty around here. Now, if you didn't catch what I needed, number one, a letter from my band. But this can be contentious and difficult for some people. Some bands won't write one because they disagree with the concept of blood quantum, which is also fair. Side note, check out the horror movie Blood Quantum by Jeff Barnaby with a bunch of really rad Indigenous actors, including Michael Grey Eyes, Gary Farmer, Davry Jacobs. It's kind of neat. I just thought it was a fun zombie take. Anyway, that's a side note. Number second, I needed my long form birth certificate, and there's a million easy ways to get that. That's pretty easy. I don't need to explain that. Number 3, treaty card. I needed to bring that down because it represents me and my connection to my band. And number 4, some other ID like a passport or a driver's license. Now, in the show notes, I'll link to the websites where I found this information, and it might help you if you're looking at J Treaty entitlements. It also helped me to call the main number and find out the local phone number for the Social Security Administration office I was going to, the one in Bellingham specifically, just over the border, because it is an ordeal dealing with the Social Security main line. And then they wanted to put me through to border control. So this lovely human being at the other end, I wish I would have gotten their name. They told me exactly what I needed to bring. And I took those documents down to the SSA office there. And then just a couple of weeks later, at home in Vancouver, I got this. Let's see. Dear me. Your Social Security. Wow, it's that simple. It's literally written on the paper, and it's just got a perforated edge that I just tear it off of this thing. Wow, I thought it was going to be laminated or something, but I guess not. It's just that simple. There's my name, Joel Darren Moncrin. Ooh, and I got to sign it. I haven't signed it yet. This is kind of cool. Listen, that's the genuine Social Security paper, number 765X7 smiley face. I'm not stupid enough to read out my Social Security card. Come on. Yeah, just a little blue card, says Social Security at the top. My name with the number above it. And the issue date. And it's so weird. It's just cardboard. Wow, that's it. There's a little stamp on the back. I guess that means something. There's really... Wow. Okay, that's me. Cool. And there you have it. I got an SSN card through the Jade Treaty. Now my manager and agent can submit me for more roles because I can now legally work in the United States without a visa sponsorship. And I'm hoping that this opens up some more cool opportunities for me in the acting world, and that this will help you out there, possible small market of Indigenous actors living in Canada. All right, let me know if this episode helped you. And don't forget to leave Actors and Ancestors a review. Denegay, my friends. I will say. Feel pretty cool. Feel pretty good. Now I can go and get some work south of the border, hopefully. Let's see if this works. Yeah, that's the dream. I don't know if we can... It'll never sound crisper than that. Actors and Ancestors is created, produced, and hosted by me, Joel D. Moncrin. Audio editing and production support by Daniela Barreto. Actors and Ancestors is also generously supported by a podcasting grant from the Indigenous Screen Office.